Today's episode is brought to you by Audible. Squat wisely with a brand new audiobook. Visit http://www.audibletrial.com/squat and get a free audiobook with your 30-day trial membership.
It's time once again for a powerful mix of fitness, focus, and philosophy. Philosophy? That's right. Kick back and get ready for your host. Wisdom keeps her fit mentally. Squats keep her fit and fine physically. Yes, I said fine. Tune in and prepare to challenge your body and your mind with Professor Kristen, Hester. You'll think better, you'll live smartly, and all thanks to Kristen teaching us right now how to squat wisely. And now here's Professor Kristen, Hester.
I am going to share a story with you guys today. I'm going to call the episode Story Time. I picked up this idea from YouTube, from checking out some of my favorite YouTubers who are known for their story time episodes. So I hope you'll enjoy this. This is a story that my mom shared with me. It comes from my childhood when I was a lot younger. So I don't fully remember this story, but I do have a vague sense of memory related to the story. The cool thing about it was my reaction to it, my mental reaction to the story after my mom shared it with me. So here it goes. We'll go back many years ago. Let's say I was somewhere between the ages of maybe 5 and 7 years old. My mom knew a mother who had a little girl who was the same age as myself. The little girl was in need of some clothes. My mom realized that I had a lot of extra clothes, so my mom decided to gather the clothes together and to share the clothes with this mother. After my mom got everything together, we both got in the car, myself and my mom. We headed over to the mother's home and we dropped the clothes off. As we're heading back to the car and getting in the car, my mom said she was really thrown off guard with something that I said to her. She said, as soon as we got in the car, the first thing that I said to her was, "Did the mother say thank you?" And so as my mom's telling me this story, it's new to me, really, because I don't really remember it. So my first reaction was laughter. I started laughing. And my mom's laughing, too, because I'm laughing. But she said at the time, it wasn't funny to her. So she had to tell me, look, we don't give in order for people to say thank you. We give for the sake of giving. We give to meet a need. We don't give for recognition or praise for it. And after she shared that with me, my mind, my analytical, philosophical mind, I had to really go back to my younger self. And I wanted to analyze what would prompt a young girl to say that to her mother. And my only conclusion was that I was expecting to see out in society the way I was raised at home. I was expecting that. It was normal for me to hear thank you or for someone to say thank you after you extend a kindness to them. After all, that is how my mom raised me. Someone does something nice for you, you say thank you. Someone extends a kindness, you show appreciation by giving thanks. So I was expecting that. And, when we have children and, I don't have my own kids, but I've been around kids. I've been able to influence kids in a positive way. We do try to encourage the whole thing of, teaching children right from wrong. But in the midst of us doing that sometimes, we don't always clarify that just because this is what I'm teaching you at home, it doesn't mean that you should expect to see this displayed in society. And even when we are adults, just like I was a young kid then, I wasn't intelligent enough to articulate, how I was raised and throwing all of that into the dynamic. I just know I'm supposed to hear a thank you because I did something nice. I shared clothes. So where's my thank you? And that was the extent of it for me as a kid. But even when we are adults sometimes, we try to transfer our experiences, the way we were brought up, our values, our beliefs, we try to transfer that on to other people. And the truth of the matter is, just because something is a norm for you, it does not mean that it will also be a norm that you'll see played out within society. People come from dramatically different backgrounds, different cultures, different perspectives on life, and everything is not going to mirror what you were taught as a child. Sadly, though, when we are confronted with these differences as they play out in society through our exchanges with people, when something is mismatched, we resort to judging people because their perspectives are not in line with our own. Instead of judging, though, we have to go back to our childlike self. Like myself, when I was somewhere between the ages of 5 and 7, I had very limited understanding. And my understanding was limited to how I was brought up. And just like how my understanding was limited to how I was brought up at that age, when you see a lot of people who are now adults and their perspective is not consistent with your own, just like how your life is a reflection of how you were raised and the things that you were taught, for the people you encounter out in society, their actions, their life is a reflection of what they were taught. And with that said, my wise quote for today will come from Stephen Covey. Stephen Covey said, "Seek first to understand, then to be understood." I'll repeat that. According to Stephen Covey, he says to seek first to understand, then to be understood. This quote came to mind because when I heard the story that my mom shared with me, like I told you, I laughed initially. And then my mind went to wanting to really understand my young self back then. And in me going back to my younger self and exploring the mind, my childlike mind, it also helped me to understand my adult mind. Because who I am today is a direct reflection of who I was as a child. I still try to show gratitude when people do nice things for me. I still try to remember to say thank you when people think of me when they don't have to. But now that I am older, though, when I am confronted with someone whose perspective or way of life is very different from my own, instead of questioning why their actions are not consistent with my own, I now try to understand what is the background for why this person behaves the way they behave. And what is really ironic about that, when we slow down long enough to try to really understand people, it actually opens the door for people to be more open and more receptive to better understanding who we are as people. So instead of making judgment the focus, understanding becomes the focus. And through understanding, all parties can learn when they are willing to seek first to understand and to be understood later. Guys, I hope you enjoyed my little story time for today. Thank you so much for listening. If you are liking the show, please head over to Facebook and search Squat Wisely and like our Facebook page. You can also subscribe to the podcast by heading over to iTunes and Stitcher. Search Squat Wisely to subscribe, and you can check out the show on iHeartRadio. Again, just search Squat Wisely. Guys, thank you for listening, and you know I'll be back next time to do it all over again.
Get a world-class motivational speaker to your next event. Kristen Hester offers professional speaking services in Atlanta, Georgia, and beyond. To hire Kristen, visit www.kristenspeaks.com. Kristen.
Your ears have been listening to the insightful Squat Wisely podcast with Kristen Hester. Kristen is a fitness professional, philosophy professor, and powerful motivational speaker in Atlanta, Georgia. Each week, she delivers wisdom that will inspire and enlighten you to lead a mentally and physically fit lifestyle. Be sure to tune in next time for another dose of much-needed wisdom for the body and the mind.